I've spent years trying to work out how guys like Joe Bonamassa and Eric Johnson are able to improvise those amazing, long-lasting pentatonic runs. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 concepts that I apply to the pentatonic scale to achieve this. Now, these 5 concepts that I'm about to show you have really helped me get the most out of the pentatonic scale. I'm able to improvise endlessly using these ideas and get around the scale in so many different ways. I'm no longer stuck in that classic box position number 1 because of these ideas. Each of these licks feature a separate concept so you can get your fingers around it nice and easily, but the idea is that we want to mix them all together. So over on Patreon, not only will you get the tab to everything that you hear and see in this video, but you'll get a whole bunch of other variations that combine all the concepts into longer licks, so you can get it under your fingers and get a really deeper understanding into how I apply them. Alright, let's check out the first concept. So this one's a 3-note per string pentatonic kind of idea. What we're going to be doing as we ascend through the lick, we're going to be skipping the middle note of the group of 3 notes on the one string. I'm hoping that makes sense. And then as we descend down, we're going to be playing through all 3 notes on that one string. So it gives us a little bit more of a sort of an intervallic jump as we ascend, and then we're going to descend down just standard minor pentatonic. We're going to be working out of the 5th position box, and we're going to be stretching into position 1, the one that we know and love. Let's jump straight into it. All right, so we're in the key of A minor. We're going to be starting on our perfect 4th, which is 15th fret of the B string, playing up 3 notes. And then our 3-note group on the E string is going to look like this, but we're actually going to skip the root note and head straight to the minor 3rd. So we've got this so far. And then as we descend down, we'll play through the root note, the flat 7, and then continue down the minor pentatonic scale until we hit that minor 3rd on the 17th fret of the G. This is what we got so far. And then we're going to go back up to the 15th fret B, and we're going to aim to play 3 notes on the B string, but we'll apply that same concept where we skip that middle note and then descend through it. So in my eyes, we've got 2 cells where we apply that same concept. This would be the first one. Right, really nice idea. And this would be the second one. And then we're just going to finish it with a root note. This is the full lick, nice and slow. Now, of course, you can take it even further. Check it out. You can take it in different positions, of course. I encourage you to do this. Check it out. You get a different sound. Take it even lower. Right, take it even lower. So I dig it because you get so much range with the guitar, and you can really get some nice wider interval leaps rather than just running up and down the scale. Let's check out the second concept. Now, everything will be tabbed out over on Patreon, plus 5 extra licks, as well as a whole bunch of other exclusive material. I do an exclusive video every week that you don't see here on YouTube, focusing on different ideas that I'm working on, different concepts, different things to practice, different licks. So go and check it out. There's a 7-day free trial happening at the moment. So this next concept is utilizing the 3-note per string pentatonic shape as well. We're going to be using that extra note for what I consider to be a U-turn or a turnaround. We're going to be ascending, and you can see I've hit a 3rd note on that string and then descending down. I use this idea a lot because it's comfortable under the fingers when you're turning around from that 3rd note on each string. It works really, really well. So let's jump straight into the lick. Here we go. We're going to be starting on the flat 7, playing up 4 notes. And then we're going to be stretching into the 9th fret, which is our perfect 5th. That's the 3rd note on that one string, right? And we're going to use that as sort of like a launching pad to descend again, right? Okay. Then I like to play 5th fret of the G string, 7th, and then slide into the next position, right? And then we're going to be playing flat 7, root note, and then we're going to add in the extra note on top of the position, right? And then like before, we're going to launch back down, right, to that perfect 5th. So far we got this. Slide. There's the top of the lick. Descend back down. And then you can keep going back up and land on the root note there. Right, that's what I did in that demo. So the full lick is this. So you get some nice momentum in that lick by just adding that extra note on 2 of the strings, so you can use it as a tool or a mechanism to descend and then continue back up the scale. It works really, really well. Take it in different positions. Right, so it's a really nice way to get more motion and longer lines in your pentatonic playing. You can even just stick to one position. Check it out. Let's see what happens. Right, here it is a bit faster. Really, really cool stuff just by adding that extra 3rd note on each string and descending. Let's move on to the next concept. So I use this all the time. This is a really good way to position shift through the pentatonic positions. I guess it's kind of also a 3-note per string concept. Let's jump straight into it and I'll explain it as we go. So we're going to start on the 15th fret, which is our flat 7. We're going to descend down the pentatonic scale, of course. And then the slide or the position shift is going to be there, okay? That's how we get into a lower range. It's a really, really easy way. We're going to be shifting every time with our first finger. So I'll do that again. Then we're going to hit one more note after that. And then we're going to go back up to the middle note of the previous string. So on that B string, we played 3 notes, 1, 2, 3. And then we hit the G string. And then we're going to go back up to the middle note of what we did on the B string. Okay, this is what we've got so far. It's really comfortable under the fingers, especially in this position. Right, then we're going to do the same idea. We're going to be playing down the scale. Position shift, add one more note lower, and then go back up to the middle note of the previous string. Okay, I'll do that again. That's the idea. Really, really nice concept to get a lot more motion and some wider intervals happening. Check it out. This is what it is from the start. Back up. Back up. 3 notes on the D string, position shift, one more note, and then we can finish the lick with the root note there. So we've got, I guess, 3 cells. That's how I think of it. Here it is a bit faster. And over on Patreon, there's going to be a heap more ideas that are related to these concepts. I'm going to be mixing them up as well, because the idea is not to just stick to these given licks, extend them all throughout the fretboard and then mix them up. That's how you get some really, really interesting ideas and make these concepts your own. All right, this one's pretty straightforward. We're not going to be incorporating any 3-note per string ideas here. It's all just in one position. This is the position that I'm visualizing. And the idea is that we descend down and then we play the higher note of the previous string. Here we're doing, I think, groups of 5. You can do any groups, and over on Patreon there's a whole bunch of different variations, but the concept remains the same throughout. So then go back up to the highest note of the previous string, go back up to the highest note of the previous string, and then I think I finished the lick just by doing that, that octave idea at the end, but you've got that concept there twice. Do it in different positions. You can see just there, I did this. I went. I descended down there, but still went to the highest note of the previous string. And that was just to change up the groupings, right? So I did a group of 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Applied the concept of going to the higher note of the previous string, and then I played a group of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then applied the concept of going to the higher note on the previous string. Maybe I do 6 there as well. Right? Some really cool ideas, just applying that concept. That's how you come up with different ideas and make them your own. Let's move on to the last idea, the last concept. Here we go. All right, so I use this concept all the time. It's really, really embedded in my playing. It's really, really fun. It's an ascending lick, but it has a little bit more momentum, a little bit more movement when we apply this concept. So let's check it out. What we're going to do, we're going to start in position 5, and we're actually going to end up all the way up to the 12th fret of the E string. So we get a fair bit of range on the fretboard, and we're not just going in one motion. That's why I like it. All right, so we're going to start on the flat 7, and we're going to play up 4 notes. And the concept is this. After we do that, we're going to return to the higher note of the previous string, but it's actually a lower note rather than the previous lick that was a higher note. So it's a similar concept, but kind of opposite in a way. So let me play that again. We're then going to go up, and we're actually going to position shift with a 3rd finger this time. So we're going to play minor 3rd, 4th, sliding into position 1, hitting that perfect 5th interval. This is what we got so far. And then we're going to apply the same concept by going to the flat 7 root note, and then going back to the highest note of the previous string. Right, this is what we got so far. There it is. Position shift. There it is. Then we're going to keep going up the scale. Position shift. Keep going. And then apply the concept there. Fits nicely under the fingers. Cool. So that's the concept applied 3 times. Let's recap all of that. Cool, keep going. Add the 3rd note in the pentatonic scale on that top string, and then finish the lick with a root note. So that last part was this. Here's the lick nice and slow. Now you could add that concept on the top of that as well. Check it out. And there is a variation over on Patreon where I do that. I really dig that concept where I'm climbing up and then going back to the highest note of the previous string. Check it out. Right? That concept allows me to create lines like that, and I can play through the scale. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Head over to Patreon if you want all those good extras. There's heaps of exclusive stuff, plus 5 extra licks, as well as a bunch of different variations on these ideas. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one. Cheers.